Hey everyone. First, I want to apologize that it's been so long since I've done a video, even though there's not very many people watching them right now. I understand to do these things, consistency is very important. So I need to get back after it and stop, procrastinating or delaying what I need to do. But I had some work traveling to do and just a lot of stuff going on. And I've didn't really know how to come on here and put anything into words, and I kind of still don't. But I also felt that the ones I've done before this kind of made me feel better by the time I was done. It kind of gave me the opportunity to get things off my chest and say things that I needed to say, or just to get them out of my head to clear room. And that's kind of feel like what I'm doing right now is I'm just clearing some space, and not going to get anything too crazy, but more of just I've been reading a little book on Stoicism. I think that's what it's called. Um, I seen a video of it or something, and then I just happened to see it for sale at this little bookstore in Minnesota, and so I bought it, and I just kind of started reading it, and I just kind of got sucked into it, and so it's kind of cool, the things and the beliefs and ideologies that are in there that I think are very beneficial for me and the way I look at things, and I think it's something that every man should read. Is kind of what I'm getting at. It's kind of crazy. Like I said, the ideologies and the thought process and that time period, how much it relates today with just how to be a better man. I'm not going to get crazy with that one because I'm still reading it and I'm still trying to comprehend it. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm something I'm not, which is some philosopher or idealist that has this crazy ability to say things that hundreds of years or however long later is going to be sitting there and people are going to be just talking about this quote. But anyway, I'm rambling. Blueberry seed. But I came across the quote, and I've been into quotes here recently. I don't know why, but more of just kind of things are hitting me a little weirder right now. And I've read a couple quotes, but I had to take a screenshot of it because I didn't want to butcher it. And I don't know who said it. It didn't say, but it kind of correlates to what I got going on right now, in my career and personal life. So, and that's kind of why it hits. But I kind of want to piggyback off of it once I'm done. So, it's better to admit you went through the wrong door than it's blurry, than to stay your whole life in the wrong room. And I took that. I forgot to do it before I got in here, so my screens were all foggy. But sorry about that. But anyway, it's one of those things where it's like I read that and I think, why wait? What am I waiting for? Why am I holding back? Life is short. Time waits for no man. All the quotes about time is short and we don't have long to live kind of come at me when I read that, and it correlates to me wanting to move back closer to my family, while my parents are still with us, and my siblings have children, and being around my siblings again, and just being around my family and building relationship with cousins and stuff like that. And I have went so long with trying to make sure that I please everyone else and what their needs are in their lives that I put everything of mine on hold. And that's kind of eating at me now. It's getting to this point where it's, again, I have said this before, but I'll be 40 next March, and I've gone home maybe a handful of times in the time I've been out here, which is, 11, 12 years now. And that's sad. And that's my own fault. I take full responsibility of that when I could have just made the effort, and I chose not to. I chose to rather not argue or bicker or stress about having to get out there. And so I guess what I'm getting at is kind of what this whole thing about is that in order for you and I to get past I'm going to quote unquote call it trauma, family court, and hurting for so long over your children in the situation, that you forget to live in your own moment, and you forget that you still have to make sure your own happiness is there for when you do have the opportunity to be around your children, or get in another relationship and whatnot. it's not anybody else's responsibility to make you happy. It's only you. And you can't do that if you haven't found peace inside. We all have this, I'm going to speak for men in general, but we all have this weird fire that burns in there. Some of us can't explain it, but I think most men know what I'm referring to. If not, then I'm fucking crazy. But I have this burning inside of me right now that tells me that I need to focus on what matters to me, not to somebody else. And and it's unfortunate that for me to do this, I have to hurt people, and not in a physical way, but in an emotional way. And that's not my intention, but I can't wait any longer. And I don't think we should wait any longer. Some of us have been down a shitty road, dealt a shitty hand, and the only way to get past that is to always work towards self-improvement and growth and maturity and the ability to express yourself and have a conversation and dialogue with somebody on how you feel. Because, and I've heard this a lot, is, men are hardwired to be quiet. Men are hardwired, and a lot of men were, especially in my generation, where you speak when spoken to. And that's too far away from your heart to kill you, and stuff like that. And we were hardwired to suppress, and that didn't do any good for anyone. And I'm not saying be emotional, cry baby, and crying about everything, but if you're just not feeling right, have the ability to say something. And some of us didn't have that ability for a long time. I didn't, and then it came to a point where I needed it, and I had no other choice. And I got the help I needed, and it changed my life. And it changed my life for better. But as you can see, that's 2.5, 3, that's going on 3 years now. And I'm still looking for improvement. And so it's just one of those things where I don't think, kick my water over. I don't think I'll ever stop, because I don't think that's something you should do. If you're looking for improvement, you should always look for more ways to be better. And I think I've said this before, that my whole goal for tomorrow is to be better than I was today. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not looking 5 years down the road. I'm not looking 10 years. I'm looking at tomorrow, because that's all I have right now is tomorrow. The beginning of this video is done and over with. And as much as it embarrasses me to post these things, and I'm very self-conscious about them, I do it, and then I have to just walk away. I don't look to see if I have likes or views or anything. I just post it and leave it. And that is a way of me practicing what I preach. And it's a way for me to continue to develop what I'm trying to do here. And I need to be more consistent with the videos and stuff like that. But I do travel a lot. I am very busy, so to speak. But I just don't want anybody to ever feel like there's not enough time, or they're alone, or they don't have the ability to do it on their own, because no one's ever alone. And I know that feeling that you have, maybe right now. I know what that feels like, that lonely emptiness of you have nothing, and you are nothing. I felt that pretty hard, which was the hardest, because all I'd ever strive to be is make a name for myself and pave my own way and do my own thing and set example for others. I've done stupid things to not set a good example, but nothing felonious or illegal, just the way I conducted myself. And I've chosen the shittiest time when I started these videos. At that point forward, I was going to pick me, and I was going to strive to be a better person. And not because I wasn't a good person before, but because I could always be better. And it's only fair to me and my sons and my family to be better, because I am a man in a large family, and I want to be a pillar of that family, and I want to be looked at as somebody that my family members can go to. And I couldn't have done that 2 or 3 years ago, more than 2 or 3 years ago. I was a shell of myself, and I had no ability to speak for myself, or it was more fight or flight type of thing. So really not going to get into that, but again, I think I'm painting a picture. But long story short, and to close this out, is that I got that Stoic book because I felt that I need to continue to sharpen my tools, and continue to develop my brain in how to deal with things and comprehend things and understand things and look at things differently, and a better way to conduct myself as a man. And so far, it's pretty awesome. I've read some great stuff. And it is very intriguing and thought-provoking, and it kind of gives you a sense of confidence to understand things a little differently. I'm not that far into it, so I'm no expert. I'm just saying there's things I've already read that have maybe changed my outlook on life. But anyway, it's called The Little Stoic Book, or Little Book Stoic. I can't remember. If you're interested, you can ask. But I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch my video. I'll be more consistent. I hope you guys have a good week, and take care.